everybody, Dauntless here, and thank you for dropping by. Today I'm going to be starting a brand new game called Tales. This is a game made by the same people who did the Donald Dowell and the Ghost of Barker Manor. That was it. Ugh. And the Chronicles of Innsmouth. Now, I have been told that this game is a far higher quality than Donald Dowell was. Now, Donald Dowell wasn't terrible, but it wasn't super good either. I'd say it was kind of a just plain good game. It had its major issues which kind of held it back. So, if this one is anything like that with a lot of its issues fixed, I can guarantee you that this one is going to be absolutely fantastic. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. And you may notice that my video is in the lower left of the screen now. That's because this has images of the characters, and I didn't want my video cam thing here to be blocking it. And the reason I know that is because I started recording before and I looked at it and I was like, there's a character picture right here, and so my video camera is like this. And then, so I decided I was going to go through it again. So I've already seen just like the intro, I guess. Fairy tales don't tell children that dragons exist. Children already know that dragons exist. Fairy tales tell children that dragons can be beaten. I love that. And I think it's a C.K. Chesterton. I might have to look that up. I really want this library. Like, this is an awesome library. If somebody can get bored in this library, they really need help. I think there's a little gray box in the lower right there. I don't know what that is. I think it's a little glitch because of Steam and stuff like that. At least on my screen. He's, well, there's Dracula, and Davy Jones. The guy's Davy Jones. His heart was in the box.
The Guardian is dying. Soon we will be free again.
Uh-oh. I'd like to say for the record that you should all be happy because there's voice acting in this, and you don't have to hear my terrible voice work. Whoa. I'm noticing a paranormal, kind of a theme with the games this group makes. Private library seeks new custodian.
Which brings us to the library, Mr. What did you say your name was again?
Alfred. Alfred Walsh.
Ed Cooperman!
Right. Well, Mr. Walsh, this is the library.
It looks quite ancient.
Indeed it is. The entire building is very old. I believe it dates back to the 15th century. It used to be owned by a noble family up until the beginning of the 20th century. Then, when the last descendant died, the property was donated to the community, as ordered in his last will and testament.
Thank you for the explanation, but I still haven't quite figured out what my job here entails.
Your job consists of overseeing the library all day long, and taking care of the books.
What do you mean by taking care of the books?
I mean dusting them off, keeping them in order, or whatever. I can't tell you what taking care of the books entails. You should be telling me. Weren't you supposed to be an experienced librarian?
Oh,
yes.
Sure. I know exactly what to do. That goes without saying.
That's me!
You'd better be telling the truth, because you're on a 1-month trial. Mess things up, and not only will you lose your job, but you will bitterly regret it.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry, man.
Fine. You'll come here every day at 8 a.m. and you'll stay here until 6 p.m. You must never step out of this room for any reason.
I'd love to know the pay
I'm the
this guy's getting for
custodian
this
of the
job.
rest of the building, and you could never leave this room without me noticing.
Are you telling me I can't even go to the toilet?
Of course you can.
Sorry.
It's only for the
There's a book for
minimum
that.
necessary time. And you must always lock the library door behind you when you do so.
If this isn't a public library, then why do you need a full-time librarian?
I don't know. I'm just abiding by the rules laid down in the will. The library was donated to the community with a strict clause that there would always be a librarian present during the daytime.
What happened to the old librarian?
He passed away. We found his body right here in this room.
Good grief! What did he die from?
Heart failure. Well, I guess that's all. I'd better return to my duties. I wish you good fortune with your work.
Awesome! Not a bad salary for doing basically nothing. I've always wanted a
just
job
assume
like
that
this.
it is a
I
good
might get a
salary.
little bored now and then, but I can handle
Yeah,
that.
by like reading a book. Let's see. Left click to walk or interact with an object. Right click to examine an object. Oh, so it's a single. It doesn't have like the. It's the 2-click type style. I don't know what the official designation for it is, but right click to examine inventory item and deselect. But basically, it doesn't have like a whole bunch of different options. You just have left click to act with it, right click to look at it. And I love those kind of games. I think that's one thing I've started noticing is I like the more streamlined, simple, tight adventure games. There's so many ones that want to have the Monkey Island style or the original Sierra style, and it's just after a while it's like, okay, let's streamline this just a little bit. Yeah, I know it makes it easier, I guess you could say, quote unquote, but it adds a little bit of a challenge to make the puzzles more difficult, but it also helps, I think it also helps it makes the game flow just a little better when you don't have to worry about what exactly you need to use on something. It's like in Space Quest 4, if you have watched my video on that, you see like, there's a hand, an eye, a nose, a tongue, a talk, and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's a ton of different icons, and 2 of them you never actually have to use. Alright, let's see. I have a Swiss Army knife, which... my inseparable companion, my Swiss Army knife. We've been through a lot of adventures together. Alright, I like to raise this question. How come there can only be one librarian that's in here the whole time? It says a librarian must be in here at all times, right? Why not have them in shifts throughout the day instead of having one poor guy in here from what? Was it 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.? Or was it 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.? But anyway, either way, it's like, holy crap! I'm sure there's a good
Dusty
reason.
old globe. I'd better just leave it as it is.
Well, you know, it's dusty. You should dust it. What? I can't leave here right now, I don't think. So...
Old quill pens. I can't believe there are still people around that use them.
There's actually a really funny picture I saw where a teacher had decided to... where a student was like, yeah, I lost all my pens. Can I borrow one from the teacher? So the teacher handed him an ink vial and a quill pen. So they have this picture of this kid with this gigantic peacock feather pen. It was pretty awesome.
I have no reason to do that at the moment.
Oh, at the moment.
A note is resting on the desk.
Let's check it out. Oh my.
Damn it! The note blew away. I wonder what it said. That's weird. I'd swear that old trunk just moved a little, and it looks like some kind of strange powder came out from it. I hope it's not some weird paper-eating parasite. That would be the worst way to start my job as a librarian.
Oh yeah.
I fear the note is gone for good and there's nothing I can do about it. I wonder where it could have got to. I can see all the roofs of the city from here. I wonder where the note is. I can't see it anywhere.
Huh. I wonder if I'll have the opportunity to go track that down. We'll find out.
It won't open. It must be locked. An old trunk. I don't know why, but I find it a bit disturbing. An old oil lamp is spreading light over the desk. I'd better leave it as it is.
Is the music written? I wonder if the music is written specifically for the game, or if this is. I think the music in Donald Dowell. I don't know if that was written for it because I was looking at other. I was looking at other YouTube videos one day, and I came across like this entire series of videos that was using one of the songs from Donald Dowell, and I was like, is it a generic song that they just used, or is it something that was actually part of the game that somebody else decided to use in their videos? Like, I know it's a freeware game, so a lot of it could probably be used, but still.
The library catalogue, presumably containing an alphabetical list of all the books in the library.
Or Dewey Decimal.
A small wooden chest.
I want to look at it!
It won't open. It's locked.
Figures. It's a small box, you can break it.
The library... I don't need to look up any books right now.
The graphics in this are really, really good. Like, there is so much detail. This is really amazing. I mean, you can even look at the, like, up at the top of the books here. I get covered up by the inventory, but if you look up there, you even have, like, carvings and stuff like that. Like, this is meticulously put together. And then, something else I'm noticing, shadowing on the character. Like, look, he goes down there, he's shadowed, walks in front of the light, now he's not. Like, little things like that, that's a lot of polish. And polish can make a game really, really amazing. It shows that people actually cared about it and put effort into the game. Well, looks like there's nothing up here I can mess with, so... That's fantastic. It's one of the things I've always taught whenever people are talking about like the best game creators out there and the best companies. I'm always like, Blizzard. Oh, why? It's not because, you know, they can make a fairly generic storyline still pretty epic and stuff like that. Like, you know, unfortunately, I think a lot of their newer storylines are kind of like meh. But their games have a ton of polish. They always try and make them look nice and clean. You'll come across a glitch here and there, but let's face it, you take something like that and compare it to like Skyrim, where it's just, they could have done so much better with that, and the fans do much better with that. And it's just like a very broken, it's a good game, but it's so broken and stuff. It's just kind of like, what, do you create this just as like a skeleton and let the fans put all the, you know, polish onto it? But you can always tell the really great game developers are the ones who put as much polish as they can on it. And that's kind of the vibe I get from this.
I'd better not leave. My manager was clear. If I step out of this room, I'll be fired. I don't want to jeopardize such a cushy job.
That makes sense.
I'd better...
Well...
An old wooden chair. It looks heavy. I don't need to sit down.
Yes, you do. Your legs are getting tired. Oh! Let's try.
I doubt my Swiss Army knife could break it open.
But could it get this open? Breaking and entering
That's
on
it.
the first day.
Piece of cake. There's a small key inside the chest.
And let's go do that thing that is going to destroy the world, I'm positive.
There's a black book inside. It looks rather strange.
Let's take it and read it.
This book looks quite eerie. I can't wait to find out what's written in it.
Cthulhu Fhtagn!
That's weird. There are no words printed inside. The pages are blank.
Uh-oh. Hi!
What the hell?
Hell? This has nothing to do with hell. We are much worse than that.
We? You've got to be kidding me.
We're not kidding, silly human. We have never been so serious. You must be the new guardian. We've been waiting Guardians for one so easily fooled.
Fooled? I had no idea what I
I'm
was
not
doing.
a guardian. I prefer the term librarian. It's more professional.
As you wish, librarian. Enough talk. Thank you for setting us free. Farewell.
Where did he go? He's gone. What is this? Some sort of magic trick? Oh, damn it. What am I supposed to do now? Play hide and seek with that weirdo? Why is this happening on my very first day on the job?
Because, nobody gave you any real information. Oh my! And the note comes right back.
That's the note that blew away. I guess that's what they mean by a series of unfortunate events. It says, "To whomever is going to take my place at the library, be careful. No matter what happens, you should never open the old trunk near the window. Should you happen to open it, you must never go through the pages of the book within. I sense the black book still contains its dark power, which will try to hide this note from you with all its might. If you find yourself reading this note after opening the book, there's no time to waste. You must look up the book, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and read it right away. Merlin will tell you what to do. I wish I could tell you more, but I feel my time is almost at an end." Merlin will tell me what to do. There's something very strange going on here. This must be one of those hidden camera shows.
Well, let's just play along. Catalog. Oh my god. Beowulf. Hey, let's see how many of these I've actually read. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, Alice in Wonderland. I've read Alice in Wonderland. Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. I'll get to that in a second. I'm kind of curious what all they have in here. Beowulf. I need to read that. I have read the Bible. Call of Cthulhu. Read it. Divine Comedy. Read that. Frank Martin and the Fairies. Interesting. The Goddess Frigg. It's that's a Viking. Genji? Isn't that a Genji? Wait a minute. There's a book about the guy from Overwatch. This is our Gilgamesh. The Grimm fairy tales, those are actually very disturbing if you read the original versions. Gulliver's Travels was actually very good. They made actually a halfway decent movie with Ted Danson in it, which was... I actually enjoyed it. Myself. Heracles or Hercules. Yeah, that's an interesting myth. He was technically a hero, but his strength was so great, he, let's just say he made a few big mistakes. I was about to say Indiana Jones and the Skull and the Crystal Skull. I don't know why my brain immediately did that. Ooh, the Iliad. I've read that. That was actually very good. And the Odyssey. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Read that. Jack and the Beanstalk. Wow. The Lord of the Rings. I've read that. Oh, skipped one. Chronicles of Narnia. Yep. There's the Odyssey. I actually like that one a little better than the Iliad. I think it's more of an adventure and stuff like that. But if you watch Troy, you'll find that Sean Bean plays Odysseus, the main character of the Odyssey. But he was in the Iliad as one of the characters. He's the smart one. And ever since I saw that, I was like, I want a version of the Odyssey with Sean Bean. 1001 Nights. That's 1001 Arabian Nights, I think. That's actually a very good movie, too. The Wizard of Oz, I've read that. Read Peter Pan. Pinocchio. Perseus. Prometheus. Ra. Oh, man, I wonder if I'm able to go... How many of these I'm going to be going through. Shiva. Blah, 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 blah. Wow. Thor. Bring me Thanos! The Three Musketeers and Treasure Island. I've read both of those. And 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I loved 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's a crazy book because it's kind of funny how close to home it actually hit with like somebody who had weapons that was able to blow everybody up and they had to stop them from doing it. It was very fortuitous, shall we say. Zorro. Oh god, is that awesome. Nice. Okay. That's interesting. This is supposed to make that loud bang. I like the library vibe here, how you have to actually research the book and there's a specific book and stuff like that. I wonder if it only works if it's highlighted. Okay. I was about to say, oh my goodness, it'd be so cool if you could actually find these books all through here at yourself. I think I was saying something before and I lost my thought. It's like mist. Not a bad thing, by the way.
Hey, what's going on? This is impossible. I've never had any serious cranial trauma. Well, I did fall out of that tree right on my head once as a child, but I doubt that could have caused me any permanent brain damage. Where am I? What kind of place is this? Hey, where's my Swiss Army knife?
Hi there, Mr.
Your
Wizard.
knife is where it usually is. In your pocket back in the real world. I guess that's what you'd call it. What lies before your eyes is just as real. You'll figure it out soon enough.
Excuse me? What am I supposed to figure out?
You
weird,
must be
really
the new Guardian.
badly chapped lips
How do
these
you
days.
do?
Pleased to meet you. My name is Alfred. I'm the new librarian, and I don't know why everyone's calling me Guardian today. Where am I? How did I get here? And who are you? I fear I know the answer, but saying it out loud would make me seriously question my own sanity.
My name is Merlin. Welcome to my humble abode.
There we go. Just as I feared. Completely demented.
It's Gandalf-Dorflin!
Don't worry. You are not insane. You new generation Guardians all react the same way. So, what brings you here, Alfred?
I really don't know where to start. It all sounds crazy. Here's the thing. I opened a trunk and leafed through a strange black book, and then suddenly a blue-faced man appeared. He looked very frightening.
Oblivion! Curse his very name. So the demon has broken free yet again. I'm afraid you've made a pretty big mess of this, lad. No Guardian has been this unwary in centuries.
The librarian who came before me did leave a note, but
You didn't get to read it in time. I should have seen this coming. The demon has been growing more and more powerful over the years.
Oh, so it's not my fault.
Come on, Mr. Merlin
your
the
fault for
Wizard.
not,
Couldn't you just please
doing
tell me
something.
what's going on?
You're right, Alfred. I'd better
waited
start
until the
from
last
the
minute.
beginning.
Start from the beginning. Alright, tell me the tale.
The history of humankind has always been bound to its tales, right from its very first breath. It all began with men and women simply telling each other how they spent their days,
Or how the chicken crossed the
describing
road.
everything they had been through, and drawing the things they had seen.
And extrapolating a lot.
Then came the first myths, along with their heroes and heroines. Tales started getting more and more complex, and began to bear deeper and deeper meanings. What humankind has developed into, everything we are now, has been built on those very tales. Our entire culture depends on them as its foundation.
And then the Transformers
Without
series came along,
those
so it's
tales,
back about 15
We'd be
centuries.
lost forever. If each generation had not passed those stories down onto the next, all the way up until the time when they could be recorded in writing, we'd be beasts, just like any other now.
I suppose.
However,
Certain
there were
way.
not only the good civilization-building tales in this world. Way back in the mists of time, no one knows when or why, someone told a nefarious story.
50 Shades of Grey?
The story of Oblivion. Oblivion is a demon who has the power to destroy all the legends, the myths, and the stories of humankind for good. He's real, just like any other character from a story. He lives, and now that he is free again, he must be stopped before he devours all of our tales. Oblivion has already been defeated once. It was millennia ago. He was defeated by Gilgamesh, the legendary king of Uruk. It's no coincidence that the Epic of Gilgamesh is the oldest story humankind remembers. The tales told before were all destroyed by Oblivion.
Interesting.
Once defeated, the demon was banished into a black book by an ancient spell. The library you've just become guardian of is unlike any other. The books on its shelves are alive. They hold and protect the essence of all the tales and legends told by humankind. The Black Book of Oblivion, which is stored there as well, cannot be destroyed by anyone but Oblivion himself, the Tale Wrecker. The Guardian is there to preserve those tales and to prevent Oblivion from breaking free again.
So I've caused an irreparable disaster.
Nothing quite so catastrophic. Oblivion has escaped many times before, but luckily the Guardian has always been able to find a way to defeat him and to banish him to the Black Book once again.
Listen, Mr. Merlin the Wizard, I don't think I'm the right person for the job. I stumbled upon the Help Wanted ad by accident, and I just thought it would be an easy job. Had I known what it was really about, I never would have taken it.
This is as it has always been. The Guardians have always become so by chance. They are chosen by fate itself. And, even in your case, I'm sure it has made the right choice.
Can't you take matters into your own hands? Aren't you a wizard or something?
I cannot. I exist only here in my book. I'm merely a character, bound to my story, but you can read each story and move freely from book to book until you find and destroy Oblivion.
But how can I defeat him?
You'll have to ask for the help of the one who's already stopped him once, Gilgamesh. Read his tale, look for him, and persuade him to fight against Oblivion once more. Hurry now, waste no time. Oblivion is already on the move. The books he destroys gradually turn black and then fade away. You must save our tales!
As much as I'd like to hurry up, I don't know how to get out of here.
Oh, you're right. Now, how careless of me. Pick up that bell resting on the table. Ring it whenever you want to leave a book, including this one.
What if it accidentally
And please,
rings?
Do not hesitate to come back here to me whenever you have difficulties. I might be able to give you precious pieces of advice. Go now. Hurry. Ring the bell.
This is insane. No one's going to believe me. In fact, I can hardly believe it myself. All I was looking for was a cushy job, and look what a mess I found myself in.
Alright, I'm gonna make sure to save here. Save. Whoop, not save. Save 1. Save game. Alright. So I'm looking for Gilgamesh. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Myst, where you basically have the books that are portals into other worlds, but obviously this is much better because unfortunately Myst suffered badly from the nonsensical machine puzzle syndrome, where you basically have a gigantic device and you have a million levers and buttons and you're just sitting there going, what in the world am I doing with this? I liked the third one. The third one was the only one I could get through without eventually having to, where I didn't just get bored after a while. But that's because it had Brad Dourif in it, and that was pretty awesome. But, yeah, there was something about the puzzles in there. I had, like, a notebook, and I was, like, noting down everything just like the character in the game that was originally going through it. You know, you find his he has pieces of note paper and stuff, the pages from his notebook, and so I ended up with this entire like little thing written down where I would write down like all the stuff I'd find to kind of tell me what each thing was doing. I don't like having to do that a whole lot, but Okay, Gilgamesh under G. There it is. Alright, I'm going to open this book, and then I think once whatever cinematic or cutscene happens here, it'll be the end of the episode. Let's see what happens. Zoink! Welcome to Babylon. Right?
This must be the ancient city of Uruk.
Huh. Alright, well, I will save here, and that will be the end of this episode. Thanks, everybody, for dropping by. I really appreciate it, as always. If you want to see more, subscribe. I will be definitely playing this. This is going very well right now, and I'm loving the vibe and everything. I'm looking forward to seeing how many of these books I get to enter. Make sure to hit the notification thing, because again, YouTube is a little weird with that, with not telling you when things go up that are brand new. Additionally, I do have a Facebook page, so check that out if you want to see like little messages here and there, or just kind of get information on how the channel's going in other areas too. You're pretty much going to hear everything on my videos, but I have that just in case. Thanks again for dropping by, and as always, you all have a great rest of your day.